Many of us feel down when life doesn't seem to go our way. Some think, I can't do anything right. Others follow a path not because they're passionate about it, but because it's what their parents or society expects. But here's an important question. If you never listen to your own heart, can you ever truly experience success? Today's story is a powerful reminder that education isn't just about getting good grades or passing exams. It's about learning who you really are and figuring out what drives you. You might hear other people's success stories and think, if I follow their path, I might succeed too. But life doesn't work like that. Until you know your true passions, those success stories will feel like distant lights. Interesting to look at, but out of reach. Let's dive into today's story and see what lesson we can learn. In a peaceful town on the edge of a quiet countryside, there was a young man named Sam. Life there was calm and slow-paced. Sam was usually cheerful and full of energy, but lately, he had been quiet and seemed lost in thought. He had just finished high school, but unlike his friends, he wasn't planning to apply to university. In fact, Sam didn't want to study anymore. It wasn't about money. His family owned a large horse farm on 20 acres of land, making them one of the wealthiest families in the area. But Sam had trouble understanding his school lessons, and none of the subjects interested him. So he decided to take a break and spend some time figuring out what he really wanted from life. One morning, as Sam helped his father on the farm, he opened up about his confusion. His father, Mr. David, was a wise man. But instead of getting angry or frustrated, he smiled. "Sam," he said, "I have a small task for you. I want you to meet 3 people. Ask them how they became successful. Their stories will help you understand what you're looking for." He wrote down the names and addresses of the 3 people on a piece of paper. Sam, who loved being active and trying new things, felt intrigued by his father's request. "Dad," he asked, "why do people call you the man with the golden leg?" Mr. David smiled and replied, "You'll find out from them. But remember, listen carefully. After this journey, you'll understand what you want to do with your life." Sam hopped on his horse and rode to the first person on the list. This person lived about 2 kilometers away. When he arrived, he met a strong older man named Mr. Andres, a retired athlete who had won many medals. Sam introduced himself and said, "I'm the son of Mr. David, the man people call the one with the golden leg." Mr. Andres smiled warmly, his eyes filled with memories. Sam asked him how he had become successful. Mr. Andres began his story. "I was ranked 38th out of 40 students in our class. I was never good at school. The only thing I really loved was sports, especially running. The first year, I focused on improving my training. The second year, I learned from my mistakes. By the third year, I mastered the best techniques. I didn't enjoy studying, so I just kept running. I ran every day for 5 years, and then I won my first medal. From there, I kept winning one race after another." Sam was amazed. He understood something important. Success isn't about being the best at everything. It's about getting better at what you love. It doesn't matter what that is, as long as you keep improving. Next, Sam visited Mr. Thomas, his father's second friend. This time he arrived at a large modern house. Sam was surprised to see that Mr. Thomas was the owner of the town's favorite restaurant, a place Sam's family had always loved to visit. After Sam introduced himself, Mr. Thomas welcomed him warmly and asked, "What can I do for you?" Sam asked, "Can you tell me your success story?" Mr. Thomas laughed and said, "I was ranked 39th out of 40 in school. I used to talk a lot, but I didn't really understand anything. I only loved 2 things, eating and talking. I loved food, so I started cooking. I learned to cook by making things I enjoyed eating. One day, someone tasted my food and said, 'You should sell this.' At first, I didn't make any money, but I kept going because I loved it. I improved my recipes, found better ways to sell my food, and learned how to attract customers. 5 years later, I opened my first restaurant. Now, as you can see, it's grown into something much bigger." Sam felt inspired. He realized that even if you're not great at school, you can still be successful if you follow what you love. Mr. Thomas smiled and added, "You don't need a lot of skills to succeed. Just keep doing what you love, and one day, you'll be successful." Finally, Sam rode to meet the last person on his list, Mr. Miguel. Sam thought, maybe this time I'll meet the person who ranked 40th in school. But to his surprise, Mr. Miguel was the top student, ranked number 1 in their class. However, his house was much simpler than the large home Sam had just visited. Sam knocked on the door, and a kind, gentle man named Mr. Miguel welcomed him inside. After introducing himself, Sam asked, "What's the secret to your success?" Mr. Miguel smiled and said, "Yes, I always got the highest grades, but I never really studied any one subject in depth. I learned a little about many things, but I didn't become an expert in anything. That was my mistake. Don't make the same one." Sam was quiet for a moment, then asked about his father. Mr. Miguel smiled and said, "Your father, David, was ranked 40th, last in our class. One day, he fell off a horse and broke his leg. He had to wrap it in a golden bandage. That's how people started calling him the man with the golden leg. Even after the injury, he never gave up his love for horses. He started with a small horse farm, and now look at it. It's grown into a big, successful business. Your father is a hard-working, focused man." Sam thanked Mr. Miguel and headed home, feeling more motivated than ever. He finally understood that his true passion was working with horses, just like his father. He decided he wanted to become a horse trainer. Sam also realized he wanted to learn more about farming and animals to become even more skilled in the future. The moral of the story: the key to your future is already within you. Nobody else can build your dreams for you. If you don't take the time to understand yourself and follow your true passion, you'll never become the person you were meant to be, no matter how much you try to follow someone else's path. If you've learned anything from this story, remember, this is your time. Find what you love, learn it, and practice it. One day, the world will recognize you for your work. People who walk their own path often pave the way for others. So, why not you? Thank you for listening. If you liked this story, please share it with your friends and leave us your thoughts in the comments.